Welcome to this video. We're going to be covering the campaign objectives in Facebook. So you may be new to Facebook advertising and you get to this stage in creating your ad, which is the first stage, and you don't know which one of these options to choose. So that's what I'm going to cover here today. Now, Facebook's done a great job at siloing the different objectives into three different categories. First one being awareness, then consideration, then conversion. Let's cover each of those. This is really based around the whole customer journey. So the awareness side is trying to promote your brand, your business, your page, your product, whatever it is, to a new group of customers or clients that are online. So that's why they call it in awareness. So there's really two campaign objectives. There's brand awareness and there's reach. And one of the great things about what they've done is they have these little information bubbles that pop up. So brand awareness is showing your ads to people who are most likely to remember them. Keeping in mind, Facebook is tracking every single thing that users do. So for example, if you click on links a lot, then somebody is targeting you for link clicks, things like that. So you will see that when they say people who are most likely, they are basing that off of past behavior that they have seen people do within their platform. So if you want brand awareness, it's people that are most likely to remember them. And they probably see this by serving an ad and then later on somebody searches for them and then goes back. That would be a way for them to be able to figure that out. Reach, the goal with this one is to show it to the most amount of people possible. Whether they're going to remember it or not, they just want to use this to get it out as far-reaching as possible. Now, why would you use either one of these? Well, for one, if you're new and you want to get your brand out there, you would use these in the first stage of running ads. And you could essentially just work left to right here in different types of ads. If you are doing a new blog post or things like that, you could go and use reach for that if you want to get it out to the most amount of people in front of them. Next, we're going to look at consideration. Now, in the customer buying cycle, this is where people have started to realize they have an issue and they need to find a solution for that. So they're starting to consider what it is that they want to do and who's going to be their provider. So there's different types of objectives in here for that. The first one being traffic. Now, traffic is where you are sending people to a destination. And this would be either to like a website or a landing page or to an event or to a messenger conversation. You would use traffic, and it's going to be shown to people who most likely have clicked on links to those type of pages in the past. Engagement is where it gets really kind of fun. And engagement is a really good incubator type of objective to use. And I'll tell you in just a second why you would use it and how you would use it. So the first thing is this is where you would go to get page likes. Now, there isn't one in here that said page likes. It's actually nestled here under engagement, as you see in the little pop-up. So if you want to try to get more likes on your page, it would be an engagement type of ad that you would run. So page likes, event responses, or post reactions, comments, and shares. This is key. Now, let's say you have created a really great pillar post piece of content and you want to eventually run it as an ad and reach a lot more people to convert to that. Well, one of the things that I would suggest you do is you initially in stage one, run it as an engagement ad to try to get post engagements. And the reason for that is you want people to like and comment and share on it. It really builds that whole social relevancy to the ad. So once you do that, then what you can do is you can take that ad and you can copy it into a different ad set later that has a different objective. Maybe it's a conversion objective or a lead generation objective. When that ad is run, it already has that social proof and that kind of the pre-qualifying sense that people see it and they're like, oh, wow, look at all these likes and comments and shares. So you can use that way. So your ads can get reused and put into a different objective. The only difference is you cannot edit that ad. Once you edit that ad, it will strip off all of that engagement that is on it. So that's the key is you need to think of what is the end goal and the end destination for this ad. So thinking about, okay, I want to make it a conversion ad, but I want a conversion ad with a lot of social engagement on it. Run it as that engagement ad first, let it run for a while, then take that ad and put it into a conversion ad, but make sure that you have a link in there already when you do that engagement ad first, okay? The next one in here is app install. So if you are developing apps, this is the one you would use. We're not going to cover that in much detail. Video views. This is showing to people who like video. have watched videos on the platform. So video views are quite cheap to get, a few cents to the view. And this is a great objective to use if you want to do some retargeting. We all know that the iOS updates and people can opt out of retargeting when they hit landing pages and being tracked. But because the video is happening on their platform, Facebook can still track it. So now you can broadly target a wide demographic and show a video. And if the video is very focused on what the problem or solution that you solve is in your business, those people who watch it are the ones that are basically raising their hand and saying, I'm interested in this topic. And then you show conversion ads later to those people who have watched those videos in the consideration phase. Now, lead generation, this is where you can start to collect ads. Facebook has that ability to run lead ads where people click to opt in, and it takes the information from their Facebook profile, which is usually a truer sense of data, right? So, people don't put in false email addresses to their Facebook profile because they need to get the verifications and all that kind of stuff. Same thing with their phone number. So if you want, better data for following up, lead ads are a great way to do that. And that's where you would get that one there on lead generation. Not to be confused if you're thinking, okay, I need to generate leads on a landing page. Do I use lead generation? No, you don't. Lead generation is just using the Facebook system to collect that information. You would use a conversion ad for that. Now, the last one in consideration phase is messages. Now, you can use Messenger or WhatsApp or now Instagram Direct to actually run ads to the messaging platform that people can actually message you back. And that's, it's the newer feature that's in here. It's been around for a little bit, but it's one of the newer ones that are there. And you can get some great results with that. Now, let's hop over to the last column here before we wrap up, is the conversion side. Now, conversion is a marketing term for getting somebody to complete an action. So think about it. You go to a landing page, you fill out that web form to get whatever that resource is or to buy a product. That is a conversion, and that's what we want to have happen here. Now, with the iOS 14 update and the changes to Facebook, they have a different kind of structure with conversions. You have up to 8 events, conversion events, that you can lock into your ad account. And you can change them at any point, but there is a kind of a hold period that happens with that. Now, what we mean by event is, let's say you want to track page views or schedule or leads. There's a list of different ones, and we'll do a whole different video on that and how to actually set that up at another point in time because it is quite detailed. Or you can do custom conversions. So a custom conversion is where somebody hits the thank you page on your landing page. So the only time they'll ever hit that is if they've done the action prior to that, like filled out the form. You can actually set those up and set one of those as one of your 8. Okay, so that's what the conversion side is. You cannot run conversion ads unless you have that objective in place. Catalog sales, if you're running e-commerce, you upload your catalog to the Facebook marketplace or online store, the catalog side of it. You can run catalog sales and actually have those feeds coming into your account. Keeping in mind, you have to be compliant with the Facebook ad policy around the products that they will allow you to promote. So, we've had some challenges with certain clients where they're kind of on the cusp of selling some controversial stuff where it may not be controversial in that industry, or in what they're selling, but according to the ads policy, they consider it that, and they won't allow them to run those ads. And then last but not least is store traffic. This is showing to people who are most likely to visit your physical address. So if you got a brick and mortar type store or a salon or anything like that, you want to drive foot traffic in, these are the type of conversion ads you would run. So that is an explanation of each of the different campaign objectives that are there. Give them a try. Each will have different results. And my last little note in here, through testing and through what everyone else has been doing, is let's say you have an audience of 100,000 people. You put in the targeting, this age to this age and this geographic region, and it says 100,000 people. Okay, and you run, let's say, an engagement ad to 100,000, and you run a video view to the same audience. You will reach different people. So one of our techniques that we do with client ads is we tend to set up different ad sets and different campaigns for these different objectives in the consideration phase and run it to the same subset of of target audience, because you will reach different people. And then you can actually see which one is actually resonating more and tracking it through. I mean, kind of like, I love this tracking side. And, the biggest thing is if you can't track it, you can't improve it. So making sure that you do it very strategically. So thanks for watching this. If you have any questions about anything that I covered in this video, please leave it in the comments below, and I would gladly answer those for you. And even if you have another question about something not related to this, that might be Facebook ads related or social media or even marketing related in that general sense, put it in the questions below, and we'll shoot a different video for you coming up on the channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and I hope you have a great time with our content, and good luck with your business.